Bubbity about that beat, bubbity about that beat, bubbity about that beat. I got gift cards, I got gift cards, I got gift cards, I got gift cards. Who gonna get one? Who gonna get one? Who gonna get one? Who gonna get one? All right. What's going on, folks? So we're about to get this thing rolling. For those that don't know who I am Phil Davis Sr. I am the Executive Director of the Success in Me Education Program. And we are here to bring you the Social Media Success Summit. You're about to hear some great information that's going to teach you how not to just be on social media, but to be able to make money off of social media and treat each other right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fights be starting over social media, and I don't know why. So we're going to try to get all that out the way. But before we do that, who knows how to do the Chris Brown It Depends TikTok dance? Okay, whoever said I do, I need 3 people to come up here on the stage with me. 1, 2, 3. Yep, come on. Come on. All right. All right, so we're gonna be right here. We're gonna try to stay. Now I'm old, okay? I'm gonna do my best. But I'm gonna try to stay in between these chairs. We good, cameraman, we good? All right, you ready? I'm gonna get it right now, hold on. I had a little bit more energy yesterday when I was practicing it, but yeah, it is what it is. Here you go. Here you go. There you go. All right, thank y'all, ladies. Go back and sit down. All right. Now, let's keep this party going. We are now about to, really need y'all to pay attention. The 3 people that we have that's gonna be speaking to you today, they have all made a lot of money. They've made a lot of money from social media, so they're gonna be able to teach you how to monetize it. So make sure you listen very well, okay? So, without further ado, let me bring out the main man that helped put this all together. He is none other than the chairman of the board of Success in Me, co-founder, Mr. Sam Hill. Come on out, Mr. Sam Hill.
All I got is a 2-step, Haas. That's all I got is a 2-step. That's it. Go get the money. Go get the. That's all I got. Oh, yeah, that's all I got, people. Yeah. Oh, boy. So listen, my name is Sam Hill. Thank you so much for being here. Like Phil said, I'm one of the co-founders here at Success in Me, and we're all about sharing and providing success teachings and principles, right? And so today, it's going to be all about social media. So you guys ready? Everyone ready? All right, here we go. Here we go. Coming out first is Itina. Come on out, Itina. All right. Next up, Benita. Come on now, Benita. up, get it. Yeah. Last but not least, Ashley. Come on out, Ashley. Uh-oh. I love performing arts. Am I allowed to say that? I love coming to performing arts. The energy. Oh, I love it, love it. So I'm going to just kind of go down the row. I'm going to start with Itina. Itina, if you don't mind, just introduce yourself.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey, what you gonna do? No, I'm joking. Yo, I'm always excited to be in here because this is my alma mater. I graduated from performing arts and had a great... Give it up for performing arts! It's the best school to be a creative, absolutely, and I enjoyed my time. Itina Fareed Cook is my name. My stage name, as far as being a national recording artist, is AI The Anomaly. I am a founder. I'm a creative director and creative executive at my company called Get Focused Productions, but I also have a personal brand called Creative Art Strategist. What I really do is support early career creatives in order to gain and earn and guide them through the process, because it's not just about knowing the techniques of film and music and things like that. It's also having the temperament to build a sustainable career, because you could be dope all day, but if you ain't dope with people, then you're just not going to be able to go too far. So I teach people and train people on how to show up professionally, but not lose themselves. All right? You don't lose yourself. You still could be authentic. All right? So I'll leave it there. We'll talk more.
All right. Thank you. All right. Ms. Benita, introduce yourself.
Yes. Hey, guys. How are you doing? That's good. Sup? Yes. My name is Benita Whitlock, and I am a content creator. I'm with TikTok. I'm with Facebook. I'm with YouTube. And I'm starting to get to dibble-dabble a little bit with Instagram. But I love everything about it. I'm also an author and also a certified reflexologist, too. So I bring all that into my brand. I wrote 2 children books. Counting can be fun, and shapes can be fun. But I love content creator life because it's truly amazing. I get to do everything what I truly love in the comfort of my own home. When I tell you I love me some TikTok, I love me some TikTok. So we're just here just to let you know that it's fun in what you're doing about, content creating. And also, you can do very well, but you got to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we're here to give you a little bit of hint on that, okay?
All right. Thank you. All right, Miss Ashley.
Good morning. I am Miss Ashley Valerie Nicole. Y'all are lit. I love it. I love it. Yes, yes. So I'm a licensed esthetician. I am founder of Melanin Skin Co., which is a skincare brand that is dedicated to serving the unique needs of melanin-rich skin. I also am an actress, content creator, and momager. I manage my son's brand, Juju. His brand is I'm Just Being Juju, so I'm just doing all the things. And I'm doing those things through social media, which I've learned through my journey in social media that it can really help to build you or it can bring you down. So you have to be very intentional about how you present and how you utilize social media. But it can be beneficial if you use it to your advantage and don't let it use you.
All right, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about, if you don't mind, let's talk about intentionality, right? And so how are you being intentional to have a positive impact on social, especially when you also, at the same time, you want to be very authentic?
You have to really make sure that you are loving what you do. you are loving what you do, whatever that could be in social media or whatever, but you have to be the person to know that you love what you do. And if you love what you do, you can do just what everybody else is doing. It don't matter about age, it don't matter about skin color or anything. If that's what you want to do, if you make your mind up to it and you doing it intentionally for the good, it will definitely work out for you. But it definitely have to be something that you want, and it's definitely have to be something for the good to help others.
Right.
The biggest thing that I've learned is the power in authenticity. People really resonate with real. So showing up always how you are, there's always a community that can identify with you, being who you are as opposed to pretending to be somebody else. Like, it's already enough people out there pretending to be somebody else, and there's only one you. There's only one. Anybody in here, however you're built uniquely, nobody else is built like you. So people tend to gravitate more towards the realness in you and where they can identify similarities in you. So I move from a space in inspiring people to show up as their authentic selves.
That's good.
I love that. I agree with both of you saying. I think it's important when we're dealing with intentionality, you really have to understand yourself to some degree. You're going to be learning. There's different versions of yourselves at different seasons, so you'll grow into that. But I know for me, moving and navigating within social media space, it's just another opportunity to tell a story. And so you're thinking about, what story am I telling? And then showing up as myself, but who is myself? And so for me, personally, I just want to love God and love people. And I just appreciate it. And I love to tell stories through photography, through film. I love working with people to make that happen. So I'm going to showcase that. Now, my intention or my hope and desire, or what we would call like a call to action or a goal for our audience, is for them to see themselves or find something within themselves or ignite. I want to ignite thought and expand perspectives. So whatever I'm sharing, whether it's through music, a song that I wrote or put out there, whether it's a film, a short piece, or whatever it is, I want people to see themselves some kind of way and then want to figure out a way to be better. Because I think it's best to show up the best version of yourselves wherever you are. And so that's my intention. And then sometimes it depends on what platform too. Right. So my personal brand on Instagram, I don't operate the same way that I would operate on LinkedIn. And I'm sure we might get to that. But my intentions on LinkedIn is to showcase to people the things that are happening within the company and the things that are driving and showcasing impact within our community. But on my personal brand, you might see me chilling with my family, rapping, going back and forth with my son, or doing different things within the community, or whatever it is that I want to share on my personal brand. You know what I mean? So my intent there is kind of see a small version of my life, because everything that I put on there doesn't mean it's all of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Can I say something really quick, adding on to what she said? Because I think it's very important that you brought up you yourself, and knowing that you're a brand. So even if you have a product that you're selling or something else that you're promoting, you also have to be very conscious of yourself as a brand and what perception you want in the world of yourself as a brand. So even with her showing those moments of her family on her personal peek at her life, is how do I want to show up? How do I want people to perceive me? What pictures of my life do I want to share, and being very thoughtful and intentional about that.
Yeah.
And then what I don't want to show.
Exactly.
You know, there's some things that y'all can't see. Right. I'm not going to show everything. Mm-hmm. And then you have to figure out what that is for you. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't have to treat social media like a journal entry. Mm-mm. You just share, you don't got to share everything. Right. But if that's what you choose to do, you gotta accept to some degree whatever comes with that. You feel me?
You guys went naturally to where I wanted to go, a little bit off script, because I wanted to talk about hidden traps. What are some of those hidden traps as being parents, community members? What advice would you give our young people, our students, around things to look out for on social media? I think you just touched on one, right? What you share can always come back around. That personal snap picture that you don't think anybody else is gonna see might come back to haunt you, right? But was there any other things, that little nuggets you might wanna share?
I would jump in and say, yo, y'all gotta be careful of the scams. Yeah, I'm sure y'all know. The ones that
Like the
pop
fake
up.
clothes. Like
Listen.
I got packages coming in with fake clothes. And
Yeah.
my kids think it's real and authentic. Just, you're not finding brand new Nikes for $15 and they're gonna be real. I'm sorry. I just had a
No, I
moment.
feel you. You get those DMs and you get excited
Yeah.
about what they're saying that they could do for you. And then you click a link and then all of a sudden all your information is stolen. Or you try to pursue a opportunity that you find out is not a true opportunity, and now you stuck. You just gotta be very thoughtful when you're moving and navigating. Also, raise your hand if you are looking into being an entrepreneur with like what it is that you're pursuing as far as photography. You know, there's photographers out there, videographers, maybe you're a writer, dancer, whatever it is. You have to be thoughtful as far as entrepreneurship. You gotta be thoughtful about the process you want in your DMs. Because if you're real good at what you do, people are gonna want to flock towards you to say, oh yeah, I want that, I want that.
Right.
Do you have a process though? Because if you have 50 people reaching out to you in your DMs wanting services from you, but you don't have a process, you're gonna drop the ball and end up in a tough situation. So I would say that as well. I mean, we know the obvious things. Be careful what you post.
Right.
About yourself. Be careful how you're presenting yourself, because it could be somewhat of a stain. At the same time, you can reboot from any circumstance.
Right.
It's all in how you go through that process.
How you process it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
No,
you
thank
got to be very careful, because you may think that, oh, this person is living the life. You know, oh my goodness, this person is really living a life. Look at the cars.
They're not.
Look at the houses. Look where they live at. Look at the clothes. A lot of that is not true. You know, a lot of that's not true. So you got to be kind of know in your heart, you know, where you want to go at, and just don't think that all of it's going to happen just like that, because it takes time. It's a process. It's a process. Because a lot of people ask me, well, oh my God, how long you been, you know, on TikTok, or how long you been on Amazon or YouTube? Or it's a process, like almost 9 or 10 years. So things just don't happen just like that. It's a process. And everything that looks good is really not good.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, thank you. And let's stay there. Let's talk about monetization and opportunities. So how are you leveraging social media for your brands, for your businesses? Ashley, you want to go?
So the way I use social media to leverage opportunities for my brand and my businesses are ads, also showing up as I am to build that community. Because again, going back to the authenticity, people just naturally gravitate towards you. And once you start building those communities and those followings, those things lead to opportunities. And then one opportunity leads to the next opportunity and to the next opportunity. But the key focus is, you mentioned this earlier, is knowing who you are initially, because you have to stand on that. And at the end of the day, like everything else, even social media, however many years from now, may develop to something else. And you can go viral one minute and be back down to nobody recognizes you in the next minute. But who you are outside of social media is who it really is. And once you start getting those viral moments or getting those communities built where people identify with you, you have to be intentional about who you want them to see, because that's who you become, and perception is reality. And you want to make opportunities as opposed to building bridges, because that can happen too. If you show up a certain way, somebody be like, oh, I didn't know she gave it up like that. I didn't know he was like that. Yeah, nah, I was thinking about reaching out to them for this opportunity, but after I seen that, no thank you, not good for my brand. So all those things.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely. I would, if it's okay.
go. Yep.
Like with monetization, I know for me, what I've seen come through are like branding opportunities with other companies. So I was reached out by, I don't know if you're familiar with this platform called Peerspace. So Peerspace is like, it's like Airbnb for creatives, and you can rent houses, just like how you would for Airbnb. You can rent spaces and do like creative engagements and stuff like that. And so I was using Peerspace just naturally for video, interviews with the team, locking in opportunities for people to come into different spaces, really dope looking spots. And because I loved some of those spots, I would share and post. Now, a lot of times I would have the team set up stuff so we can do music videos in some of these spaces. And so when I post the music video, I would tag the entity in Peerspace, and genuinely, because I like the processes that they go through and the spaces that I've been able to connect to, I would say like, yo, I really love this space, this is what I like, we were able to do this, this and that. Then they reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to become an ambassador? And I said, hey, yes, I would. And so I'm a Peerspace ambassador, so now I get the perks and also get paid to put out posts based off of my experiences for the space. And so then I also get to have a discount when I'm using those different spots. So just genuinely showing up as myself and really saying what I feel, that worked out for me. Another situation, because I rap and I perform often and I go to these different spaces and I'm showing up authentically as me. So yes, I'm a rapper, but I might not be the rapper that you are possibly used to. I care about what I'm saying, and I want to uplift, and I want to showcase real reality from my perspective. So I'm very intentional about my lyrics. So when I put it out, to be honest, sometimes in my mind I'm like, because, in comparison, because I'm not like this or I'm not doing this, because I'm not about to shake my behind and do all of this crazy. I'm just personally not. Kudos to whoever feels comfortable and confident in doing that. You do you, boo. But for me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about my family, my kids. I'm going to talk about the realities that I live in. I'm going to talk about joy. And so through me just being like that and authentic, I'm able to get opportunities. There was a music supervisor with Universal Music Group that reached out and asked me about, a project that I put out. And they ended up taking one of those songs, not taking it, let's be specific. They contracted me so that I can take that song and put it on a Netflix special. And so because of me just being me, and I didn't even realize this particular song was interesting enough for them. I liked the song, but it was real deep. But they reached out and they utilized just 15 seconds. It was a nice big check. And guess what? It still gives me revenue ongoing. So that 15 seconds is still earning me money. So just right back to just real examples of me being authentic, just me being me, and I ain't changing. And whatever naturally comes my way, I get to make that decision, and then I have to steward the decision I make to continue building sustainability within it.
Yeah, no, thank you. Benita, I'm coming to you. So if you could talk about monetization, but also, different approaches depending on the different platforms that you're on.
Okay. Well, I'm monetized on Facebook, I'm monetized on TikTok, Amazon. But Facebook, if you keep showing up, just showing up every day, showing up, just keep doing something, they will definitely reach out to you and let you know you're just about here in the monetization. But it's up for you. You have to show up each and every day. Some days you probably don't want to post, but even if you post a picture, or even if you post, today, I'm eating a sandwich or whatever, anything, just post, and Facebook is watching that. Now, TikTok, I'm monetized and I get free products. I get free clothes that I love, and I also get monetized money-wise too. It just depends on, me out there and putting my little videos out there, and then when they click on that orange cart, ching ching, I'm getting paid for, them just looking at me modeling clothes or talking about what products, that I'm talking about today. But every day is a everyday consistency. You just can't post on TikTok just once a week or something. It's constantly. You're constantly posting. You're constantly out there. And it will show up. But you got to put in the work. The money will come, but you got to put in the work, because you just can't say, okay, I'm just gonna post this one day and forget about it. It's a job. It's pretty much like a little job. But it can definitely work out in your favor.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to go to you, Ashley. Talk about your viral moment.
So I've had on TikTok actually a few viral moments, and more so with my son, because again, like I said, I'm a momager as well, so I'm also managing his brand on TikTok. And one of the big viral moments is which led to an opportunity. He wanted to go to a Shador game. So, and he wanted to meet Shador. He wanted to do a TikTok. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do a TikTok, but we went viral for doing a TikTok video, a mom and son dance, showing that he wanted to meet Shador, and ultimately that led to an opportunity where Shador FaceTimed him to tell him happy birthday, and also sent him an autographed jersey. Just from us showing up, using the community to our advantage.
No, great. And so can you talk a little bit more on, build off of what Benita was talking about, just consistency and even just having a plan? Yeah,
so I would preach consistency in social media, outside of social media, and anything you do. Anything you do, consistency is gonna drive results. And what consistency is like you said, showing up when you don't want to show up, showing up when you do want to show up, is showing up, whatever that looks like in that moment. And consistency is a proven method for driving results. So I'm managing multiple things. It does get difficult to be consistent, but like she mentioned, it could just be as simple as, resharing something with a comment, you know what I mean? Or just posting a picture. And the more, going back to that authenticity, the more you define who you are and can stand on who you are, it becomes much more natural and easier for you to be consistent. Because me just showing up as inspiring people to do the things I do, another thing is I'm a gym rat, so I love working out. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. So something for me, I may not do a full-blown video, but I'll just post a picture of me in the mirror like, hey, okay, results. The thighs is thighin' today. Something simple, you know what I mean? And just because my community is already used to seeing me showing up like that, it makes it easy for me to be consistent.
Good. So everyone, I want you to start thinking about questions for the panel. All right, and so start thinking about questions for the panel. I'm going to ask them one more question, then I want you to go up to the microphone and ask your questions. All right, and so if you don't mind, talk about the different platforms. Right, so I've heard LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, also Instagram, but share how you're using the different platforms, and then from your perspective, the different audiences as you think about the different platforms.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this backstage too. So one, in identifying the different audiences with Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and finding your niche in each, you'll learn that you can't necessarily show up the same on each platform. Like Facebook, oh my God, Facebook has been around since I've been in college. Don't judge me. I'm not gonna tell y'all when I graduated from college. Y'all don't need to know that. But Facebook generally has an older crowd. So I know y'all probably experienced, you post something on Facebook, next thing you know, your grandma done heard about it, and your grandma texting you like, girl, why you put that on? So I have to be intentional with what I'm posting on Facebook, knowing that my great-grandmother is on Facebook. You know what I mean? And then when you think about TikTok is typically the younger generation. So if I come, posting a video that doesn't resonate with the younger crowd, then it's not gonna fit in the algorithm. So TikTok I use more so to build my son's brand because they eat him on up. But learning what fits within your identity and your personality, but also being conscious, if you're trying to monetize, being conscious of what the consumer wants to see. So once you put out something that fits in your personality and people kind of latch onto it, you just kind of keep going down that lane, and being consistent in that. And you'll find that it's different for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
I love that. I love that. As you were saying that, I started to envision our houses. When you're in your room, what y'all doing? Chilling, right? Chilling in your room. Maybe if your friend come over, maybe they chilling with you in the room. When you're in the kitchen, for the most part, you either washing dishes or you cooking. How many people cooking in here? All right, now, it better be good. So you got the kitchen, and then when you show up in the kitchen, you're cooking, you're eating, you're washing the dishes, and anything that has to do with that, maybe putting groceries away. When you're in the living room, you're watching TV, you're with your family, maybe playing games and different things like that. I mean, in general, these are the things we do. When you're in the bathroom, you using the bathroom. You taking a shower, whatever the case is, right? So think of that when you think of social media, different platforms. You show up based off of how that platform is built or what that platform is supposed to provide. Now, LinkedIn is typically for those that are in the professional spaces. People are looking for jobs and things like that. So how you navigate that space or the language that you use is going to be a little bit different from how you use language on Instagram. So if you think about when you're in a classroom to some degree, when you're talking to your teacher, you might not use certain language with your teacher, but you might use some languages with your friends. It's different. So you have to be bilingual. So you have to talk a certain way in one space. It doesn't mean you code switching. It's just you got to show up. This version of yourself needs to show up more. And then you have a different space. Facebook as well. Facebook operates differently. TikTok operates differently. It's a different timing you have to have. If you go to Instagram, when it comes to stories, people only going to look at that for how long? Just about, and they're gonna keep scrolling unless you pull them in with a hook. Now, different spots call for different versions of yourself. You have to be thoughtful about your audience and what you're trying to communicate. All it is a communication tool. How are you communicating on those different platforms? Then you have to realize if you need all of those, maybe you don't need to be on all of those spaces. You got to discover that for yourself based off of what it is you're trying to do and what your goal is. You don't have to be on all of those platforms. You really don't. That's exhausting. Let's talk about how exhausting that is and how much you're going to pull yourself. You gotta pace yourself. Also with consistency, it doesn't always mean every day. But it's definitely helpful if you do it every day on certain platforms. But consistency is based off of what you have in your mind and what your goal is. Some people's consistency might be showing up on social media every single Wednesday, just one day a week. But the consistency is on the other side. If you're telling your audience, every Wednesday we're gonna do X, Y, and Z from this time to this time. The expectation is set. Your audience should expect you to do that, and consistency is doing it every single time. And if you can't, you communicate to your audience, next week, we're not gonna be here, but following week, we will. You feel me?
Yeah.
And it's also in the consistency of the message you're communicating, but tailoring it for your crowd. So for example, you may have a message, say you're an artist, right? You rap. So you may be able to rap your rap as is to your friends, right? Where if that same thing to your grandma might be a poem. but it's the same message, right? And then to your mom, it could be a rap, but it may be, you know, I gotta edit some of these lyrics out. But it's the same message, but I can't curse and say this and the third. But all across, I'm delivering the same messages, but I'm tailoring it to my audience so they can receive it.
Nah, grandma gonna get these bars.
Grandma get
And
them
they get
bars.
these bars.
And
Nah,
you know,
good thing I don't curse.
It's really true because my granddaughter used to put stuff out there, and I used to be like, call her up on the phone. You having a bad day? She said, Nah, it's a song.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I got to kind of figure it out between songs and the reality of what's really going on in life, you know. So it's just pretty much you know, how you feel and like we all saying, showing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you mind if I say this one thing really quick? Key, you have to protect your IP. Do you all know what an IP is? What is it? Nope. In the context of creativity, what is your IP? Everyone with me say intellectual property. That is the key piece. You have to understand that these platforms are not your platforms. All right? So you would have to build your own platform, which is typically a website. That should be the main space for people to go. Because what I'm saying is when you put it on a platform, let's all imagine for a second, what if that platform goes away? Remember what happened with TikTok? Was it TikTok or X?
It was TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok.
Right. Remember what happened? It just vanished or you couldn't use it? How many of y'all was losing your minds? I was chilling too. Because I was like, that's too bad. I'm taking a break. But it's important to understand that part so that you don't get so caught up in putting everything there. You got to have another place for your creative work. You made it. You giving it to that platform is you saying, here, I'm giving you permission to take this and use it however you like. And if you disappear, I don't have that content anymore. Make sure that the content that you create, the actual original piece, have it somewhere saved, just in case something disappears. Start to look into your IP. Start to look into copyright. Understanding how to control your original work is the most key thing through all of this. If you go on TikTok and you make up a dance, that's yours.
Right.
You make up a dance, you get 100,000 views. That's what's up. We all excited. But then somebody could take that dance and be like, oh, I'm gonna monetize. And they could have 5,000, but they made $50,000.
The big example is that Demure, right? Remember that Demure thing?
Exactly.
I can't remember the individual's name, but they didn't protect their property. They didn't trademark it. So they were out here, oh, this is Demure. Everybody is, oh, Demure, that's not Demure. Like, that was the big thing for a while. And somebody came and stole it from up under them and was able to monetize off of them because they didn't protect their property.
If you don't take anything from us, please put it in your notes. I want y'all to research IP, intellectual property, copyright, and trademark. Those are the key things right there. Yeah, you could post all day and half the night and every day if you like to, but if you don't own your creative work, if you don't own it, it's gonna be really hard to build sustainability, and then you're gonna be sitting scrolling.
Or sitting like Pooh Shiesty. Y'all know how Pooh Shiesty gave it up the other day. We don't want nobody going out like that.
Right.
Yep. So thank you for that. I'm gonna pause. Questions? Any questions from the audience?
Okay, so what do you mean by own it? I get what you mean, but like, how could people actually own it? Like, I get like posting it and then making it yours, but anybody could still take it.
They could. How can you own it? What I would say is, let's take, for example, the song that I put out. Weepin' Woman is the song that Universal Music Group said, ooh, the music supervisor said, ooh, I want to use this. Now, that individual reached out through whatever type of business processes they had to go through to get to me to say, can we use this song? Now, I could have said, yeah, use it. Right. Yeah, absolutely. If I wasn't I don't want to say if I wasn't smart, if I wasn't educated. But because I'm educated, I know that I have rights. I wrote that song. I put money into the production of that song. I had to pay a producer. I had to pay for recording. I had to do all of the things that was necessary in order to get that song out to the public. And so when I wrote the song, I had to make sure that I protected it. How do you protect it? By taking your lyrics, what you wrote, and to submit it into the registration with the
Copyright.
Yes, copyright. Which isn't even a lot of money. It costs money, but it's not a whole bunch. Maybe it's $35 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But you protect it by saying, this is mine, these are the lyrics that I wrote, it's mine. So that if someone was to go on my page and snatch the song and say, oh, I'm gonna take these lyrics and I'm gonna say that it's mine.
Right.
You could go right on ahead and do that if you want to. But my lawyers and attorneys, they will come after you and with a cease and desist saying the lyrics that you just put out are not owned by you. They're owned by this person. So either you stop what you're doing right now or you're gonna get sued. Yeah, or you're gonna get sued. That's because I protected my work. Now, if we were to translate that to some of the things that you may be doing, if you post a picture, somebody takes that picture and say, oh, I did this, it would be a hard sell to say, well, I took that. Do you have the paperwork? Do you have the processes? Now, I will say there's an automatic copyright sometimes where it's like if you posted it first, but if somebody goes in and they take it.
necessarily hold up in
Exactly,
law
it
if
doesn't
somebody
hold
really
up in
wanna
court.
fight you. So can I just add to
Yeah.
that really quick? Research two things, copyright and trademark. So trademark is like you go and you both you submit it to a registry, but either or will depend on what exactly you're trying to protect. So copyright would be more so like dances, lyrics, artwork, like physical things that you're protecting, as opposed to trademarks would be more like logos, brand names, ideas, those kind of things
As well.
And once you trademark or copyright those type of, I have another example. I don't know, there's this TikTok dance. It's like a rodeo kind of TikTok dance. I can't remember what it's called. But the girl who created this dance never got the dance copyrighted. So some other girl came out, made it look cuter. She had a little booty. And so everybody liked how she was doing it. And they totally disregarded the original author, and it wasn't copyrighted. So now all these opportunities came to this other girl who pretty much took the dance because she didn't protect her intellectual property. So that's why it's very key and very important, because there are people who professionally do this as a living, that find ways like the next viral thing and the next moment, and they literally make a living off of stealing people's intellectual properties and trademarking them so that they can profit off of it.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Next question. Last question. Okay.
What is the hardest part about starting to be a content creator and being a content creator?
The hardest part is just making sure, again, that you show up. It got some wonderful perks, and then it got some not so wonderful perks. But as long as you show up and you know what you want to do, and a lot of people might try to say, no, I don't think this is going to work out. But if you believe in yourself, and that's where all this come from, you have to believe in yourself, because you're going to get people who's going to talk you out of it. I got many times people who was trying to talk me out of it, saying, oh, you're too old to. No, I'm not. So you have to believe in yourself, and it will happen. And that's the hardest part, is just you trusting in what you believe in. But it could be very good. You can get free stuff, you can get money, so it's good. Just believe in you.
I say the hardest part for me is that you really have to have thick skin. Because once you decide to put yourself out there, even if you're being positive, even if you think you're doing all the things right, there's always somebody out there that's trying to find that little piece of something to ridicule. And naturally, we tend to gravitate more towards negativity. So there could be 500,000 people singing your praises. You're going to find that one that was like, ooh, ugly. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought I was showing up cute today. This person that called me ugly, but 500,000 other people that said you was cute. Yeah. So I've learned in being, again, I can't reiterate this enough, standing on who you are and being confident in who you are so that somebody else can't knock you off your pedestal. Somebody else can't knock you off your game. And learning that a lot of people on social media have insecurities that they're dealing with. And a lot of times they're looking for somebody else to justify their insecurity. Like to come on and say, oh, I go to the gym too. She thinks she cute because she going to the gym every day. I go to the gym every day. I ain't looking like that. But then they're going to find some way to make you feel less than because they feel less than. Right.
I would say yes, absolutely, and I'm glad you made that statement because it's so true, built on facts for sure. And yes, and I would say be careful of looking at likes and follows and comments as if it's monetary value. Don't think that because you got 10,000 or 100,000 likes on something that you doing something. It's dope, but what are you gonna do with that? Because that doesn't mean sustainability either. It's good. How do you work with that? How do you build sustainability with that? You have to have a plan and a purpose that you're moving towards. Please, you have to have it. Don't get caught up like, man, I got 100,000 followers. I'm good. You're not good if you're not paying bills.
So. Thank you so much. Backstage, we said we were going to run out of time, and we are out of time. And so please, round of applause for our panelists. We're going to take a quick break, intermission. We want the dancers to come up on stage for the challenge, and Phil will be right back. But please, thank you, panelists. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What happened to Pooh Shiesty?
Y'all gonna have to Google that.
Ooh, okay.